Well, welcome to Wesley Impact. I'm Keith Garner. Do you think God's calling in a person's life ever expires? Thank you for joining me today. It'll be a pleasure to be with you. Today I'm going to be speaking with an ambassador for the Christian faith among the First Peoples of Australia. Robyn Green has been touring Australia for the past 30 years, following her calling and sharing the gospel to people in small outback and remote towns, to people in cities, in fact, to anyone who would really listen. Over that time, she's written countless songs, released 8 albums, and seen thousands of people discover a personal and meaningful faith in Christ. I'm also looking forward to speaking with Robyn about her music and her career that spanned more than 3 decades. Then, after our conversation with Robyn, she's going to sing an original song she released on one of her recent albums called Whispers of Love. And then I'll speak on the theme that Jesus has already begun to open up for us in the gospel, and that is of possessions. His teaching uses the terminology of treasures. This whole area is something that we at Wesley Mission really believe is special. It's something that we have considered important in terms of our mission in the community. And the words of Jesus to his disciples are very powerful indeed, and certainly would be capable of being misunderstood by the people who heard them for the first time, as well as challenging those who hear them today. Last week, we saw how one of our child and family community programs in Quakers Hill in the northwest of Sydney has adapted and changed to suit the people we seek to connect with in Sydney. In Woodcroft, just a short drive away from Quakers Hill, another child and family work has been run and operated by Wesley Mission, has adapted to change and suit the needs of the community that we're seeking to serve. This is our work in Woodcroft in northwestern Sydney.
Woodcroft Playgroup is a supported playgroup. It's a structured playgroup. So what happens is the families get to come in and socialise with each other, but also the children get to do stationed activities where they can work inside and outside. The program is for children 0 to 5 years, so we have young children activities such as baby toys, crawling through a tunnel, activities where they can start developing their transition to school. It's great to see with the songs that they all now know the songs that we sing and the stories that are told. They come back each week and say, yeah, I really like that story, and yeah, it's good to see.
My name is Manisha Doshi and I have a 2.5-year-old. She is at the age where I want her to get trained for the preschool and all that. She was the bossy one, being the youngest. She wouldn't share at all, but I wanted her to learn. So I came in here and first thing she learned was sharing. And that's what I like about it, that she learns a lot of new things. She's learning manners, she's learning interacting with different kids. So little things like this that encourages. For myself, I get to make more friends. We are so good friends that we meet outside the playgroup and then we go out to places and have fun together, which is more like having fun with family itself. So yeah, definitely the getting into the group has helped me get more people, know more people, and some of them are really very close friends now.
My name's Louise Miller. My son Eric is now 4.5. We first started playgroup when he was just a baby. He always loves coming to playgroup. It's the highlight of his week, I think, that get to go to playgroup and just to see him sort of come and play with other kids and have fun. It's a good place for me because I have an autoimmune disease and that affects my joints and tendons. That makes me a bit more insular, I guess, because I don't get out a lot. I'm in a lot of pain quite often. So just sort of being able to come out and have somewhere where it's safe for him to just be able to play. Well, this playgroup's a bit different from other playgroups, as in it's supported. It's got a couple of support workers that you can talk to. It helps to know that as a parent and as a mum, that you're not doing it alone, and just coming out and seeing that, you know, there are other mums and we struggle in the same ways, and we kind of have the same joys and frustrations. That's been my big highlight.
I think when families come here, they see Wesley Mission as a safe place. We do get a lot of families who have opened up about financial issues or other family issues, mental health, domestic violence. What we're able to do is refer these families to other services in a safe environment.
If you would like to see more of the work of Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can watch loads more videos, catch up on past episodes of Wesley Impact TV, find out about our diverse range of services, and get involved to help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and stay up to date on the latest news and information from Wesley Mission. wesleymission.org.au.
If you want to find more about our work, you can see and that work help us in any way that you can. If we can be of service to you, visit our website, wesleymission.org.au. Here on Wesley Impact, I'm making a priority to include music on the programme. And as you know, we're led by our very talented musical director, Craig Gower, who's been working on the Christian music scene for well over 30 years in Australia and around the world. And we invite singers and songwriters from all over the country to be part of what we do. Now, there are only a handful of gospel singers and songwriters, and I've just said Craig, but I've got another one that I want to introduce you to, somebody who's stood the test of time. I'm pleased to invite, of all the people who've lasted that time, Robyn Green. Welcome, Robyn.
Thank you.
I really need to say you started very young, don't I, if I make
did.
a statement like that. Look, for over 30 years in the gospel music business, have you ever felt you've had to compromise your Christian message, or in a period like that?
Made a decision when I first started singing gospel music to never compromise.
And that decision you've really held to all through that period of time.
Yes.
Now tell me also, this is a difficult question, but it's one that I kind of want to ask. Have you ever felt that the gospel industry is hard when you come into it, and ever felt like giving up?
Many times. You know, I've came in at, I think 1986 is when I first recorded my album, and even back then I thought, oh, you know, as an artist you hope that people like your music, they like your voice. So yeah, it has its moments, and you do feel like giving up, yeah, but you keep pushing through because you have a passion to sing, number one. Well, it's not number one, but you do have a passion to sing, and you want to honour God.
So faith is not just what you sing, it's actually the empowering of what you do as well, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Look, I know you've been doing some recording recently. What's the latest album you've got?
It's called Only You, and you can actually go to my website, robyngreen.com.au, if you'd like to listen to the album, and please do.
Yeah.
I'd love to, for you to, you know.
Look, and I also want to say that the family have got drawn into all of this now, haven't they?
I have one son and 3 daughters, and they all sing on the album with me, so they're all doing duets, and I'm really proud. It's the very first time that they've all sung on the album with me. Over 30 years, I've recorded 8 albums.
So during that time, you've been ministering. It's not just been about singing. How have you managed to hold all the family, the work-life balance, as we say today, together?
It is hard, you know. You've got to keep your faith. My children have grown up. My husband and I, we brought them up in the ways of the Lord, and I grew up that way too. My parents were Pastor Peter and Eva Morgan. They were evangelists to Australia. So I've grown up my kids that way as well, to serve God and to honour God in everything that they do. Yeah.
And your parents had a big influence on you?
They certainly did.
I mean, you shared to me about some of those times you travelled with them, and you must have gone to some remote places, mustn't you? And some places where you hadn't met communities before.
Many outback communities. We travelled around Australia 4 times. My parents were called to the Northern Territory in 1965. So we travelled a fair bit around Arnhem Land, ministering to many isolated communities.
Have you ever, is there a song that's special to you of all the ones that you sing? Or, I mean, they're all important, but is there one that, you know, you would
One
say?
little song that I wrote on the very first album is called I'll Go Another Mile for You, Jesus. That gets requested so many times. It's just a little song that I wrote, and it's just so popular. and I still get requested to sing it. So I'll go another mile for Jesus. And the other one would have to be We Can Change This Land in Jesus' name.
And both of those songs have powerful meanings, don't they, for
Yes,
you?
yeah.
Going the extra mile has had to be how it is, but there's still a conviction. I asked you privately, and I hope you don't mind me asking, how would you say the temperature is in the Indigenous Christian community in this lovely land of ours? Because I think that's important for us to hear.
Look, I think, you know, I travelled a fair bit around this nation, and there are so many wonderful Christian Aboriginal people in our nation who love God, who honour God. And, you know, I've just come from Catherine. I was in Catherine on the weekend, and there were about 30 different communities represented. And it was just so good to see about 1,500 or close to, or it could be more, I wasn't sure, but about 1,500 Aboriginal people gathered from 30 different communities. And it was just so wonderful to see that their faith is still very strong, even in these turbulent times, where Aboriginal people feel that they're still being left in the background, or they're not being given a voice in this nation. There's still a lot of misunderstanding about our people, but I believe that we need to bestow honour.
And it's good for us to hear that there are many Christian people in those communities. And instead of what you rightly understand as being left behind, they might lead the way in so many of these Christ-centred ways that we talk about. Let me ask you a question that I think is probably... many people, when they first start to sing, might have an aspiration to be a singer. I'd like to have a ministry. What would you say to somebody who's thinking about, if you like, a life of music ministry?
Make sure it's really what you want to do. Because you're going to have knockbacks. You're going to have setbacks. You may not be the right colour. You may not have the right sound. You know, so you've got... That's always going to be coming against you. But if you want to be a gospel artist, you know, serve God. Make him first and foremost in your life. Honour him with your gift. Do the best that you can with what you have. It's not an easy road, you know, as a musician, as a singer. There's a lot of good singers out there. But I think you also have to have something that's unique. One thing we do have, and that's our faith. So I do want to encourage other up-and-coming singer-songwriters in Australia, just get out there and sing.
Robyn, you've been a marvellous witness, and the story is nowhere near finished yet. You'll continue making that witness, and I just want to congratulate you on your career, but also your family. That's the biggest achievement, you know, not having your name in lights, knowing that your family, you know, they're not out there robbing banks, they're not doing silly things, they have a Christian faith, and now for you, the joy that they're wanting to share in ministry. So God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
And also, if you want to know more about Robyn and hear from people who are pioneers in many ways, in particular in gospel music and the arts, then look up Robyn on the website. Look at our site there. And Robyn is going to join Craig and the Wesley Impact Band in just a moment to sing Whispers of Love.
I chose to volunteer at Wesley Mission because I'm passionate about justice.
I chose to volunteer with Wesley Mission because I've always wanted to work with people who have a disability.
You meet friendly people. They're all people who are self-motivated and energetic.
It not only gives me a purpose, keeps me active, and activity leads to longevity.
Wesley Mission currently provide over 130 individual services with over 2,000 employees, supported by over 3,000 volunteers to assist over 21,000 families and individuals each year. Whew, that's a lot of numbers. So as you can imagine, we are always looking for more volunteers to help. So please, volunteer today. Visit our website, wesleymission.org.au. You will not only be meeting new and interesting people, but you will be doing all the good you can, because every life matters.
Mummy said it was not safe to go home. She said we would have to camp in the car. For $35 this winter, Wesley Mission can give a homeless family food, blankets and clothes. Please donate urgently at wesleymission.org.au. Donate. When are we going home, Mum?
When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going home, Mum? When are we going h whisper my name. I am your child. You whisper my name. I am your child. You whisper my name. I am your child. You whisper my name. I am your child. I know your ways are not my ways. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your word is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Heaven and earth will pass away, but your words will never pass away. You hold my life within your hand, my future's in your hand. Whispers of love, whispers of hope, whispers of faith, filled words to soothe my soul. God's holy word strengthens my heart. It speaks to my soul and lightens my path. You know my name. I am your child. You know my name. I am your child. You know my name. I am your child. You know my name. Oh, I love the way you say my name. Whispers of love, whispers of hope, whispers of faith, filled words to soothe my soul. God's holy word strengthens my heart. It speaks to my soul and lightens my path. You whisper my name. God's holy word, whispers of love, whispers.
I want to remind you that Jesus is teaching in this section in Luke's Gospel in a way that should point us to putting our trust and confidence in God. As we heard in that recent interview, trust and hope and faith is what keeps you going. It's not material riches that will bring that kind of confidence to our lives. So I want to read to you from Luke chapter 12, verses 32 to 34. 32 to 34. Do not be afraid, little flock, for your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give to the poor. Provide purses for yourself that will not wear out, a treasure in heaven that will never fail, where no thief comes near and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Now, this is some very interesting teaching from Jesus because he makes a link between our treasure and our heart. What we treasure in life is where our heart is. Now, that may not just be money. It might be lots of things. It might be to do with our ego, our position, our status, all kinds of things. Whatever we treasure most, that's likely to be where our heart is. That's likely to be where our emotions, our feelings, our commitment, our identity is to be lodged. Turn it round, where our heart is likely to be where our treasure is. In other words, if we focus our heart upon God and his grace and his love, it's likely that that's going to be the most important part of our lives. And so keeping our treasures safe is important. It talks there about having purses that are able to keep. We don't waste things. We don't believe possessions are unimportant. But possessions must never be the greatest part of our lives. We mustn't just give them a position that is higher than they ought to be. Because it could be argued that the more goods we possess, the more things we possess, the more things that are tangible that we crave after, the more anxious we'll be about losing them. some of the people in this world that I've heard of and read of that have given nearly everything they had away have found the greatest of all spiritual treasures in their lives. That's why I think Jesus had a real bias towards the poor, a real emphasis upon those who had little. And these verses in Luke's Gospel are very powerful. Luke had an emphasis upon many themes like prayer, about women, about the poor. And it seems to me that there's a real emphasis in Luke on this. And it's a Wesley Mission story, because we believe that what we do amongst and alongside the poor is critical, because that tells us what matters most. Jesus told his disciples to sell possessions and give to the poor. Now, you can imagine for some people that would be one heck of a story. But if we invest in this kind of concern, we'll know that spiritual wealth beyond all measure will be given to us. For our treasure lies within us, not outside of us. It's not something that we focus on. It's not something that we're given. It's not something that is manufactured. It's not a reward that we have for doing what we do, for our lodging here on earth. It's something that is created out of a real spiritual focus. That focus upon God and his grace and his love opens up the possibility for us to possess, to own, to be part of the greatest treasures of all. Didn't Jesus have such an emphasis in his teaching on the small things? That small grain that grows into something large, that small prayer that is offered by somebody, the real sense that these things are the most important things, treasures and heart. Which part of that story do you find yourself in today? Jesus tells us that where our hearts are, where our focus is, where the things that we consider that matter the most in life, where they are, well, that's where our treasure will be. And if we treasure those things most, it will spill into every part of our lives. There is no greater joy, whether it's singing for 30 years, whether it's ministering for a lifetime. There is no greater treasure on earth than a life where our treasure is hid with Christ in God at the very secret place of our lives that spills into every other area. How true it is around this lovely land of ours that there are many people that folks know about, and many that have never been told their story, have right at the heart of their life the treasure of Christ. And if you never met him, then I commend him to you today to reach out and to find Jesus Christ.
If you would like to contact Keith and find out more about today's program, write to us at Wesley Mission, Post Office Box A5555, Sydney South 1235, or you can send an email to impacttv@wesleymission.org.au. On our website, you can catch up on past episodes of Wesley Impact, find out more about our work, read online magazines and articles, and connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also connect to Keith's blog and stay up to date on all of the latest news and information from Wesley Mission. wesleymission.org.au.
Please do send me an email if you want to be in touch. The email address is impacttv@wesleymission.org.au, and the website is wesleymission.org.au. I always enjoy listening to people who watch the programmes on a regular basis, and on our website you can also watch and you can see past episodes of the programme as well as today's, and you can see much more opportunity where you can help to seek and serve. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation with Robyn. Robyn, thanks for staying with me. Look, just in a sentence or two, if somebody is searching for Jesus Christ, what difference can he make to their lives?
Jesus Christ can give you life, joy and peace, something that the world can't give and the world can't take away.
And that's been something that you've proved during all those years of singing. And I can bear witness to it too. So we hope to see you next week on Wesley Impact. And I'm grateful for those who join us every week. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Wesley Mission helps more than 2,800 families each year through our Wesley Family Centres. To find out more, visit wesleymission.org.au.